Picture this. It's 5:59 a.m. Your alarm is about to go off, your bed is warm, your room is cold, and every fiber of your body is screaming, just stay a little longer. Now pause. What would you do? Most people hit snooze, but some don't. Some lace up their shoes in the dark, make their coffee half asleep, and step out anyway. Why? Because they've figured out how to be disciplined without motivation. And that, right there, is the secret edge. I'm your friendly guide, Mr. Smart, and what you're about to hear might change the way you think about success forever. Because behind every athlete, artist, or everyday achiever who keeps showing up, there's no secret formula, no magical morning routine. What they have is something far more durable than hype. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you what that is. Spoiler: once you understand it, you'll stop waiting for motivation and start building something real. The morning nobody sees. Take Marcus, not a CEO, not an influencer, just a warehouse worker who decided he wanted more out of life. He set his sights on becoming a paramedic. That meant early mornings, long shifts, and night classes. For most of us, that dream would have drowned in the daily grind. But not for Marcus. Every morning at 5 a.m. before work, he studied. Not because he felt like it, because he promised himself he would. That moment right there shows exactly why motivation fails. There were no fireworks in Marcus's story, no aha moments, just a quiet grind. A decision made over and over. Motivation left him after the first week, but discipline stayed. Discipline got him his certification. Motivation didn't even show up to the exam. Sweat, not sparks. Think about Kobe Bryant. Legends say he practiced jump shots for hours before his teammates even arrived. Not because he was motivated every day, but because his commitment wasn't based on feelings. It was based on identity. He didn't wait for fire, he made sparks through sweat. That's the blueprint. That's how to be disciplined without motivation. Discipline is like brushing your teeth. It doesn't matter if you're tired. You do it because it's who you are. You don't negotiate with yourself. You just show up, even when it's raining, even when no one claps. Another example is Stephen King, one of the most prolific authors of our time. He writes every single day, weekends, holidays, no exceptions. He doesn't rely on inspiration. He relies on routine. Some days his writing flows effortlessly. Other days it's like dragging a boulder uphill. But he writes anyway. That's what separates a dreamer from a doer. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's rarely exciting. But it's dependable. And in a world where so many people wait for the right time or the right mood, that dependability is what makes all the difference. It's not about inspiration. It's about showing up and putting in the work, especially when no one's watching. That's when your future is being built. In the quiet hours when no one is clapping, when no one is posting about it, when it's just you versus the easy way out. You could look at someone like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. His schedule is brutal: films, business meetings, family workouts. And yet, he trains like a clockwork, often before the sun rises. Not because he's always excited to do it, but because he's conditioned himself to act in the absence of feeling. That's discipline. That's a decision, repeated with precision. Comfort cravings and digital traps. Now zoom out to your daily life. Netflix autoplays the next episode. Your phone pings, the fridge calls, the dopamine buffet is endless. And this is where motivation versus discipline becomes painfully obvious. Motivation wants to scroll, discipline turns off the phone. Your brain is wired to avoid discomfort. That's its job. But your soul, your future, they're wired for more. So how do you push past? You shrink the task. Write for 5 minutes, walk for 7 minutes, drink 1 glass of water. Those tiny moves are the real answer to how to build discipline and consistency. Even world-class athletes like Simone Biles understand this. She doesn't wake up every day thrilled about her training schedule. There are injuries, setbacks, doubts. But the reason she continues? She doesn't wait to feel ready. She acts on commitment, not comfort. She knows that the small daily actions are what prepare her for the big moments. The way you speak to yourself. Ever mess up and call yourself lazy? Useless? Here's the truth. You're not either. You're just listening to the wrong inner voice. Think of the best coach you ever had. Did they yell when you messed up? Or did they say, "All right, next play. Let's go again"? Talk to yourself like that, like a teammate, not a tyrant. Because discipline doesn't grow in shame. It grows in belief. This is a core part of how to be disciplined without motivation. You have to become the coach you wish you had. Remember Oprah Winfrey? She faced countless rejections early in her career, told she was unfit for television, but she didn't internalize those failures. Instead of being her own worst critic, she became her own champion. That shift in self-talk, that was discipline at work. The one-day window. One day, your knees won't let you sprint. One day, your schedule will be filled with things you didn't choose. One day, your energy will run lower than your ambition. When that day comes, what will you remember? That you waited for perfect conditions? Or that you acted when it was hard? This is the truth behind motivation as a myth. The conditions will never be perfect. Your mood will never be stable. But time will keep moving. And each small act today becomes a story worth telling tomorrow. Ask anyone who's ever written a book, built a business, or transformed their body. The secret wasn't talent or timing. It was repetition. Showing up. Even when it was inconvenient. Every brick of a meaningful life is laid during those moments when it would have been easier to quit. Every successful person you admire has had days they wanted to stop. But they didn't. Not because they had boundless energy or perfect conditions, but because they understood that quitting wasn't an option. And that mindset, that quiet refusal to give up, is what builds resilience. The long glow. Forget lightning bolts. Discipline isn't flash and thunder. It's candlelight. It's glow. It's steady. You don't always notice it, but it never leaves you in the dark. The people who build empires, they didn't wait to feel ready. They just kept showing up, one unglamorous day at a time. So if you're sitting there wondering if you can do this, you can. Not because you'll always feel powerful, but because you'll learn to act regardless. And that's the truest form of power. Angela Duckworth, author of Grit, calls it perseverance and passion over the long haul. And she's right. It's not about flashes of brilliance. It's about slow-burning consistency, one decision at a time. Light it now. If this message shook something inside you, do something now, like this video. Drop a comment. Discipline is my decision. And subscribe if you want more stories that keep your mindset strong and your goals honest. This is Mr. Smart reminding you. The storm will come. The motivation will vanish. But your lantern? That stays. So light it now. Walk forward and let the rest follow. And remember, you don't have to feel like doing it. You just have to do it. That's where discipline begins. That's where your story changes.